Yo guys, welcome back. Today we're doing something a little different. I'm going to become your TFD newscaster and read you all the dev stream highlights. So strap in and let's get into it. First up, we have the Void Erosion, where the enemies will have weapon and skill shields, also elemental resist shields. This will drop the weapon core upgrades. It will be located on 2 different maps. There will be matchmaking for level 1 to 5. We will start out with waves 1 to 20 and 20 to 30 will be added in a later patch. Next up, it looks like they are adding elements to certain ultimate weapons. One thing to note is that Viper is probably supposed to be Python and it will have a toxic element. Now they showed a preview of the weapon core and how it will work. You must be MR18 to access the weapon core. This will be used to upgrade ultimate weapons, mostly for things like a firearm attack, and basically upgrading the substats of the weapons is what it looks like to me. And here we can see some of the core type effects. We have firepower augmentation type. Firearm attack can grant additional firearm attack power when attacking Colossus. Hit augmentation type, weak point damage, firearm critical hit rate, firearm critical hit damage. You have attribute augmentation, free augmentation, where you can equip any core, it looks like. Tactical augmentation with attribute status effect trigger rate, rounds per magazine, fire rate, reload time modifier, beam rifle charge gain speed, precision augmentation type with weapon change speed, movement speed, which does seem very nice, and special augmentation type can grant additional attack to firearms specific to the Vulgus region. And next up, we finally get to talk about Ines, which will be farmed in the Void Vessel. Hip hip hooray, I'm sure we're all excited about that. As for her passive, it is called Plasma Vibration. The higher your max MP, the higher skill critical hit rate you have. Crit hits on enemies in conductor state generate currents that chain to mobs. As for her abilities, the first one will be Chain Lightning, which is singular. You will throw lightning bolts into the enemies and put them into the conductor state and deal additional damage to enemies that are in the conductor state. Our second ability, which is going to be called Conductor, is a tech skill. This deals damage to mobs with electric coils, additional damage to mobs in the conductor state, the same as the Chain Lightning. For her third ability is called Discharge. This will be a singular ability. No, it is not all about that her ass is in the camera. It gathers and releases electric to her front. Is a charge type skill. When you maximize the damage, the longer you hold the charge. And for her fourth ability, it is called Snare Hunter. It is a tech ability. Creates Thunder Snare. You throw plasma acceleration coils. It is a large damage over time effect. When using the skill, Ines becomes overconducted, which is an increase to her movement speed and her current damage. As for her Transcendent mods, the first one is called Plasma Balls. The passive turns into a defensive shielding from enemy attacks and improves battle stability. The second is Time of Hunting Hounds. Chain Lightning turns into Floating Lightning, hitting fewer enemies and having shorter cooldown. And I believe the third is Discharge. I'm not really sure. The translation wasn't that great. And this is modified. This I believe makes your Discharge ability, her third ability, into a dash forward, dealing damage along the path, and at the arrival point of damage, it is increased the longer you hold the charge. And now we got a nice preview of skins. I will say they look very good. I will leave this on the screen for a second for all the Coomers to jizz over. Enjoy. And now for the next Void Abyss Colossus, we have the Defiler. He is a toxic Colossus. He is weak to electric and normal to fire. Some important information is Infernal Walker is being replaced by Defiler. Both rewards will still be available from ETA 0, and after Season 2, both rewards will be gone. Then they covered a pretty decent change to advanced shape stabilizers. You will be able to craft these. I do think this is a good change, but one thing I would have liked to seen, like I mentioned in our community ideas video, is to have a stabilizer to up the chance of getting crystallization catalysts, as if you're an endgame player, you really do not need these anymore. It is just going to put more junk in your inventory when you're going for catalysts. Now we can get into the reworks. Jayber It's going to be easier for him to summon turrets. Multi-purpose gun is turned into a explosive type gun, so it'll be easier to hit the turrets. And the medical skill mod is improved. As for Luna, the play difficulty is lowered with a shorter build-up. Music and notes change only when using enhanced skills. Move and jumping around allowed in enhanced skills. Skills are affected by duration up. Reduced penalty for failing notes, and there is a noise surge buff. And then we have Valby, who probably does not need any type of buff at all, but here we are. Faster cast for Plop Plop. Jumping in Cleanup and Tidal Wave, I will say that is a good change. Laundry Bomb can fire faster, stacks, and the more it stacks, the bigger it gets. Water Play has a wider range with shorter cooldown. When Valby is on water, she now always recovers MP. Bubble Bullet range and explosion radius on bounces is also expanded. And next, this one's pretty quick. It's just that Frostwalker and Obstructor will now be solo. So you can queue those up to your heart's content by yourself and stay in your little hole in your basement and not talk to anybody. They are adding something called limited weapon trading, which is basically just to get the old battle pass weapons that people have missed by trading in some certain type of currency. I'm not really sure. And they also talked about buffing the weapons when they do come back, and they will be set to come back on specific dates. And now we have the Lunar New Year skins, and there will be a 2025 Lunar New Year event. It's going to be an in-game event from January 16th to February 13th, and it's similar rewards to the online events we've been having, but it will simply be in the game, and rewards will be given for actually playing the game, which is definitely a welcome change. As far as updates coming after the January 16th, there will be a patch 1.2.5 on January 23rd, where we will see launcher radius mods and a patch for mid-season patch issues, basically fixing up whatever they messed up in the mid-season patch. A patch of 1.2.6 on February 6th. This will give the final stages of Void Erosion Purge, so stages 20 to 30, and a leaderboard for it. And the next patch 1.2.7 on February 13th, where we will get new paints and Valentine skins. And the next dev live stream will be sometime in February. They did not give an exact date. Now, as usual, they ended the stream with a Q&A, so I will just cover some things that I found semi-important, even though I do not agree with a lot of the questions they answer. We will get photo mode in Season 3. Paint improvements will be coming for Season 3. And sorry to disappoint everyone, jiggle physics will not be until May, maybe. NVIDIA DLSS for multi-frame generation will be out on January 30th. Unlimited quantum incubators will be allowed in the inventory. They are working for a fix for all the crashing. We will see lab improvements in Season 3. Console will get keyboard and mouse support on February 6th. And in Season 3, we will get main story progression. That should wrap up everything for the dev stream. Hopefully I covered everything you guys would be interested in. This is my first time doing something like this, so I try my best. Like and subscribe is welcome. Thanks, guys. Peace.